Bing?
Question 3, sir.
Mr. Speaker, at the outset, it is important to set out the framework that applies to the regulation of moneylenders in Singapore, as this is necessary to answer the member's question. The Moneylenders Act 2008, MLA, prohibits persons from carrying on the business of money lending unless they are A, authorized to do so by license, B, have been granted an exemption, or C, are excluded moneylenders. Moneylenders that are licensed can lawfully lend money to the public at large and must comply with the MLA and its subsidiary legislation. An excluded moneylender is a person falling within a list of definitions in the MLA and includes any person that lends solely to that person's employees as an employment benefit. The provisions in the MLA and its subsidiary legislation do not apply to excluded moneylenders. MinLaw does not regulate excluded moneylenders and does not maintain figures on the number of such moneylenders. An exempt moneylender refers to any person that has been granted an exemption by MinLaw from complying with various provisions of the MLA and its subsidiary legislation, including the requirement for a license to lend money. Exempt moneylenders can only engage in a limited scope of money lending activities, such as lending to specific borrowers or specific purposes. Lending by exempt moneylenders must be assessed to have potential benefits, such as providing an avenue of safe credit to meet a specific need, while also having sufficient safeguards in place to protect borrowers. There are currently 31 exempt moneylenders. Before granting any exemption to any applicant, MinLaw carefully examines the proposed lending model to ensure borrowers get safe access to credit with adequate protection. The factors considered include the profile of the applicant, the purpose of the proposed lending model, the prudency of the lending practices adopted, whether there are safeguards in place to protect potential borrowers, and the economic or social benefits arising from the lending model. For each exemption granted, the key features of the proposed lending model, including the charges on loans, are incorporated as conditions to the exemption, which the exemptee is expected to comply with. In addition, exempt moneylenders like licensed moneylenders are required to observe borrowing cost restrictions to prevent them from extending loans with exploitative interest rates. An exemption can be revoked for non-compliance of its conditions. In this regard, GFIN, a subsidiary of Grab, intended to implement its Partner Cash Advance program for Grab drivers and delivery partners. As these persons are not employees of GFIN, GFIN could not be considered as an excluded moneylender. Hence, GFIN had to apply for an exemption to implement the program. In granting the exemption to GFIN, MinLaw assessed that its proposed program provided an alternative source of safe and sustainable credit to their partners who might not qualify for other forms of credit or who may be charged high interest rates due to their irregular incomes. Furthermore, GFIN had incorporated sufficient safeguards in the program, such as developing an internal credit scoring system to assess the maximum amount of loan a partner could take, and had put in place various initiatives to provide support for partners who face challenges in making repayments. Having weighed these considerations, MinLaw granted GFIN an exemption in August 2022 for a period of 3 years. Should MinLaw receive other similar exemption applications in future, the same framework in which we assess GFIN's application will be applied to these applications.
I thank the SPS for reply. Learning from GFIN, how can we better monitor and regulate the introduction of new initiatives and programs that offer commercially high interest loans, which are just like licensed money lenders? Thank you.
As explained in my answer earlier, there is already a framework in place, which is the MLA, to actually regulate the practice of money lending. So if they don't comply, then they will be in breach, and that will be an unlicensed, and there will be penalties that will be attracted. In respect of programs like this that has been put up by Grab, these are actually in a special category, and they have to apply for exemptions. And as I mentioned, there are actually rigorous criteria that we look through before that exemption is granted. The conditions are attached to the exemption, and there is monitoring as to whether there's compliance, and it is within a certain time frame, after which they are either extended with or without conditions or not given further. I trust that addresses the member's question.